My Secret Personality. Web novel. Chapter 3. Early the next morning. After Charlie finished cooking, he rode his little e-bike to the emigrant group. He parked the little e-bike next to the parking lot of the emigrant group. As soon as the bike was locked, a black Bentley car slowly parked in a parking space opposite. Charlie looked up inadvertently and saw a pair of young man and woman walking down the car. The man is dressed in high-end suits, they look very stylish. And the women are coquettish. Although a bit gaudy, they are also rare beauties. It turned out to be Claire's cousin Wendy, and her about-to-be engaged fiancé, Gerald, the eldest of the White family. Charlie didn't know what Wendy and Gerald were doing in the emigrant group. But in order to avoid trouble, he still prepared to hide away. Unexpectedly, things are hiding more and more. The sharp-eyed Wendy immediately saw him and shouted loudly, "Oh, brother-in-law." Wendy's brother-in-law yelled extremely cordially. But Charlie couldn't help but he strode faster after hearing it. Out of courtesy, he could only stop. And when the two approached, he smiled and said, "Wendy, why are you here?" Wendy giggled, "I and Gerald came over to meet with Doris, the vice chairman of emigrant group." After that, she looked at Gerald with admiration and said, "Gerald's family has a lot of cooperation with the emigrant group. In the future, not only will it help the White family, but also our Wilson family." Charlie didn't know that the White family had a cooperation with the emigrant group. After all, the emigrant group had just become his industry and had not had time to understand it. But he didn't show it, just smiled and said, "The prince has an extraordinary temperament and a good strength. You are really talented and beautiful." Gerald White looked at Charlie contemptuously, and couldn't help feeling injustice in his heart. This stinky rug was scolded by Mrs. Wilson yesterday as a dog. And today he has a hippie smile like a okay person. Why would a stunning beauty like Claire marry such a useless waste? If it weren't for this useless man, he would definitely pursue Claire desperately. And how could he be engaged to this inferior Wendy in every respect? Thinking of this, Gerald was upset, and deliberately asked, "What did brother-in-law come to the emigrant group for?" Charlie said casually, "I'm looking for a job." "Looking for a job?" He sneered and said, "Why do you want to find a job in the emigrant group?" Charlie frowned, "What does my job search have to do with you?" Wendy called Charlie to stop, just trying to sarcastically sarcasm him. Seeing that Gerald had started first, she immediately sneered. "Why, is Gerald wrong? For academic qualifications, do you have a diploma? If you want a job, do you have any achievements apart from your uselessness? If you come to the emigrant group to apply for a security guard, they will not want a waste like you. If you are a little self-knowing, you might as well go picking up rubbish on the street. You can earn 2,000 or 3,000 at least a month." After speaking, she threw the drink bottle in her hand at Charlie's feet and hummed, "Hey, don't say I don't take care about you. Pick up this empty bottle and sell it for money." Gerald smiled and said, "Although you are rubbish, since you are a relative, then I have to take care of you as much as possible. It just so happens that I have some friendship with the vice chairman of the emigrant group. Why don't I help you with two good things and let her arrange it for you? A job cleaning the toilet." Charlie smiled coldly and said, "The kind of job I am looking for. You don't need to worry about it. You should worry about yourself. Emigrant Group is a large enterprise. I believe they will not cooperate with you with such low-quality garbage." Gerald suddenly got furious. "Who do you say is rubbish?" Charlie said disdainfully, "You are rubbish." After speaking, he was too lazy to talk to Gerald, and walked into the emigrant group building. Drafting it, "Stop for me." Gerald quickly followed, and caught up with Charlie at the elevator entrance. He wanted to teach Charlie a good lesson. but at least slapped him twice to let him know the fate of people offending him. But when he saw that he was already inside the Emigrant Group building, he was worried that doing something here would anger his partners. So he had to temporarily dismiss the idea of teaching him. He gritted his teeth and said, "I will let you go for a while today. And you won't have such good luck next time." Charlie snorted coldly, stepped into the elevator, and said to him, "Gerald, do you think you are a powerful? Believe me, you will soon know the cost of arrogance. Fuck you." Gerald stepped into the elevator. Wendy gave him a hand and said in a contemptuous tone, "Gerald, don't take the same elevator with this kind of rubbish, lest you get smoked by the stench on his body." Gerald nodded, knowing that he couldn't do something with him here. So he said coldly, "Letting you go, I want you to look good next time." Charlie took the elevator directly to the top floor where the chairman's office was. On the side of the Emigrant Group, Stephen Thompson had already arranged it for him. And the person in charge of docking with him was a woman named Doris Young. Doris is well known in Orris Hill. And she is the most famous career-oriented woman in Orris Hill. Not only is she beautiful, but she is also very capable of working. She has been promoted to the vice chairman of Emigrant Group at a young age. She has contributed to Emigrant Group's existence today. Now that the Emigrant Group has been acquired by the Wade family, the original chairman has abdicated. And Doris stayed and prepared to assist the new chairman. When she saw Charlie, Doris was shocked. She didn't expect that Charlie would be so young and handsome. After that, she did not dare to delay, and immediately said respectfully, "Mr. Wade, please come to my office." End of chapter 3.